Thank you, Governor.
Jack Windsor, WMFD TV in Mansfield. Somewhat lengthy question, Governor. I hope you'll beg my pardon here. I want to understand the antibody testing and contact tracing strategy a bit. The Lieutenant Governor just stated that our local Red Cross suggested a 1.3% positivity on blood samples for COVID. Hospitals and private labs are showing 3.4%, so somewhere between 2%. That equals about 234,000 people that have already had COVID. However, the director of the CDC, after 2 antibody studies of 10 states, has twice confirmed that number to be about 10 times the current number of positive cases. So in Ohio, that would be about 800,000 positive cases, which is the number I brought up yesterday. When it was announced in April that we would be hiring 2,000 tracers, it was stated that the number of tracers was based on the case level at the time, 5,000 tests a day and about 20,000 cases. Governor, if 800,000 Ohioans, or even to use your number of 240,000, have already had COVID, the horse is still out of the barn, which is what I said yesterday. Isn't it an impossible strategy to test and contact trace at that level? And if our hospital capacity is not at risk, which yesterday you said it's not, and if death rates continue to plummet, which they are, then the curve is flat. How do we justify any mandates and restrictions on our schools and businesses and now even our personal lives?
I am not as pessimistic as you are on that. No, we certainly can run these cases down. I think every expert in the country who understands tracing and testing says that the two go hand in hand, that we must have both to go after these cases. You know, whatever number you use, it's still a relatively small number of Ohioans who have had it. A lot of people, but as far as a percentage, those people, there's no reason to believe that, you know, most of them are no longer contagious. So I think the better question, the issue is, you know, how many new cases are we getting? Do we have the ability to trace those? Go back to each of those individuals and try to cut this virus off at the knees. So no, this is the right thing to do. You know, virtually every expert, the jury is almost pretty much unanimous on this. Tracing is important. Testing is important. Look, we're not where we want to be. We're about 6.2, 3, 4, 5% positivity of the people we're testing in Ohio. We would love to be at 4. We'd even better like to be at 2. But we're not at 20 either. And we've got some states that we listed them up here yesterday, all the ones that were 15. So it certainly is manageable. But one of the lessons that we've learned is that the earlier we can cut this off, the better off we are. And that's why I've said today, and I continue to say, that if you're a yellow county, if you're in Orange County, even more reason to wear a mask, even more reason to try to cut this off, because it's now much more manageable than when it gets out further and further. And if you want to see a problem, you know, if a state is at 20%, that's really rough. So we don't want to get there at all. So I'm confident in what we're doing.
So what is the end goal then? If we flattened the curve and ramped capacity and we were successful at that, what's the end metric that you're going to keep restrictions and lockdowns and masking in place?
Is to keep as many people alive in this state, have fewer deaths as we can, and keep people from getting sick, with the understanding that there are a lot of people out there who are watching this today who got very, very sick, went through hell, and some of them have long-term permanent damages. And in some cases, they don't know what that is. So the goal is keep our economy going, same time, keep these cases down. The simple way you do it, the basic way you do it is test, 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 and trace, trace, trace. And the citizens of Ohio wear a mask and stay away and keep a distance. It's basic. We got to keep doing it, but the end game is clear. The only way that our economy is going to continue to move forward is if we keep the coronavirus down. And we will not get rid of it. You know, it's not going to totally go away, but we can knock it down very, very well if we all continue to do this. That's my commitment, to do that.
Hi, Governor. This is Tara Morgan with